Welcome back, everyone. I am Prince, or Ashton, and long time no see. I am so sorry. This is part 2 to the video that I uploaded a month ago. And if you don't know what video I'm talking about the video I'm showing on the screen. Literally coming up in 5 days, it will be that. Today is Easter. If you celebrate, happy Easter. I'm hoping to maybe upload this today or tomorrow. Why it took me a month, I have no clue other than general ADHD, so I'm just gonna hop right into it, and instead of just like the usual lollygag that I do at the start of my videos where I kind of talk about what's going on, I'm just hopping straight into it. If you don't know what the base of this video was, it is a Florence de la Rosa family home that I uploaded. I've had kind of like a mini series going on with this family now. A few previous videos I can leave linked down below because they're all connected, especially the last one. And the video itself was a build with me, except I could not tolerate the way I just wasn't used to having to explain something, be on camera, and build at the same time. So it just was it was a mess. But the build itself is fine. The video is fine. We're just gonna do that now. So I want to focus kind of on what's going on, and then maybe I can give a little bit of an update. But first, let's just see what's happening on screen. Where we had left off with part 1 of the video, we had done the kitchen, and it is a family home, and it's kind of supposed to look like it's been lived in. The daughter, Florence, lives with her parents. She's in college. They own a flower shop, and they have lived there from when before Florence was born all the way till now. So I wanted it to be a little bit comfier, but also a little well off. So there will be certain things that I place around with clutter, like the plate that will be above the mantle, and it's overall going to be tight. I'm assuming the economy was way different when they bought the house, and the Sims economy does not link up with the real world economy. So what was that? Oh my. Like I was saying, the Sims economy does not link up with the real world economy. So 21 years ago, realistically, maybe this house would be a lot more affordable and more expensive. Now, doesn't matter. They've lived in it their entire adulthood and marriage with their child. And then I also did want to keep its kind of Spanish Mediterranean roots. Not really Mediterranean. It's in Ciudad and Murata, and the world that came with Lovestruck. I am so sorry. I maybe should actually look up how to pronounce that really quick.
Or looking at how to pronounce these words in Spanish. How do you say city? Like an actual D. Ciudad. Ciudad. So, ciudad.
Enamorada. Enamorada.
Enamorada.
Enamorada.
Maybe I just have a thick tongue. I didn't really pay attention in Spanish class, but I know it's not that hard of a pronunciation. I'm just failing it right now. Ciudad enamorada. Getting flustered. Okay, regardless it is a Mexican inspired city. So I just wanted to keep some of the stuff like the terracotta, which you would traditionally see, and the type of wall and the paint, etc. And I wanted to keep it kind of colorful, because that's just like, if you saw how I did their family flower shop, I wanted to bring those vibes into this home. So I think it did a good job of doing that. We'll see. I guess let me know how you think of it down below. And also there were personalities to match this build, which I can possibly go over at the end. Stay tuned. If you didn't know, I actually don't know where I was a month ago with my life updates. I'm just gonna like chit chat now. I don't really know where I was with life updates a month ago. I have just been going through it. I have had a horrible flu season, in which I don't want to like drag on that, but I have been sick constantly since November. I had food poisoning in February. Okay, a month ago I definitely was fine then. Definitely covered that I had food poisoning, maybe. But then I did get jury duty in between that last video and this one, which was just crazy. It felt like an adult. I felt very adult having to do that, and it was, I can't really talk about that in general, but it was a full day that I was fully preparing for, and then I've just been working, seeing my friends. I've been slowly getting more settled into living with my mom again. It's actually a really long process having to move back to your childhood home after not living there for so many years. I'm so used to like having like seeing things and purchasing them like that could go in a kitchen or a living room, or just in general having all of my stuff go from 3 apartments back to this one, which isn't an apartment, but like to a room. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about anything else. But there's a lot of stuff. So my recent project in real life with my mom has been going through our garage, because that has just kind of become a dumping ground. I have 2 older siblings who have moved in and out throughout the years, whether it's college or they just get a place and situations change, circumstances change, and I've also moved to and fro. So there has just been a collection of things, I would say probably over the last 5 years, that we haven't really gone through, and it has been about a 3-week project now. Not necessarily doing it every day. We both have jobs and things to do on top of various other hobbies, or just in general procrastination. So I've been finding a lot of things, like my old American Girl dolls. Hello, didn't know that those even existed anymore. And just stuff like that. This house is very much similar to the build that we're doing. Where I grew up here, it has really solid bones, but there are certain things where like you just realize there's like discoveries waiting everywhere, especially if I lived in a different state. So that was just there are so many things I just didn't even know that she held on to, or that I had dropped off here in between one move or the other move, etc. Thankfully, I got to move back in with my mom. I know not everyone is able to do that, so I am grateful. It has been a month since I've uploaded a video, or near a month. I am going to say that this is for my save file. Normally I try to limit myself if I was filming videos back to back to back. That is streamline focused. When I'm playing The Sims right now, that's kind of just what I'm doing. So one thing that I've been really working on with my save file has been not necessarily making like elders or adult Sims life end when they have an adult child. Kind of typically, if you play a more generational or legacy style in The Sims, I feel like a lot of people will just like, they follow that like heir mentality of like the youngest child or the oldest child or the only child turns into a young adult, and then the parents no longer really have something interesting going on. At least that's how I've found myself playing since I was a child. So with my save file, one thing I was focusing on was not doing that. So like this family, for example, Florence is in college and she is a young adult, and typically that's when in a legacy style gameplay I would be like, okay, find a significant other, find a career, like her parents are done. No, I set it up so they still own their flower shop. They're kind of at a turning point, like are they gonna retire soon? Are they gonna do this? But I wanted it to still feel like there's like romance and chaos in their everyday life. So putting things out in the yard, especially the back terrace area or fireplace area, throwing like that picnic blanket that Sims can woohoo in and things like that. Like Florence doesn't have a significant other. I'm pretty sure. It's actually been a minute since I've checked, but I'm pretty sure she might have like maybe like a flirt or something. But it's very obvious that it's for her adult mom and elder dad, just because the romance is like, you know, they're still young at heart, but they're not necessarily like trying to be anything. They're not. They're just still in love. They're a happy couple. Just a happy couple. They've lived here forever. The romance isn't dead. That's what I was trying to say. On the same note, it is weird because I feel like I never did that before. So not necessarily making this house like a grandma's home, but definitely looking old in style. Like maybe some of the pieces or of furniture were cute when they bought the house, or 10 years after living here and they decided to update something, but they haven't needed a new couch since. That was kind of the general vibe I was going for when I was furnishing this. I think we all know people like that, especially my mom had me young, so she's in her 40s, I'm in my 20s. She is kind of like a crazy cat lady. Like her interest happens to be her cats the most, but like she's still like, this is her home, you know, like her life isn't done with just because I've entered my young adulthood. I've entered my 20s. You know? Sorry. With that too, it also was kind of fun to see how I would like visualize a house where there's more than one adult living there, like having 2 separate lives. Yes, they're family, and yes, it was a family home essentially, but you know, the activities and things that you develop, or like hobbies that you might go through at different parts in life. So having like a stand-up piano in the upstairs. Like maybe that was just something, maybe it was like a family heirloom of some sort, or Florence was in piano classes when she was younger, or maybe her mom, I wish I could remember her parents' names, but were taking piano lessons or teaching piano lessons or anything like that. Just trying to throw in small nods to like, there's been 2 full generations now in this home, except the second generation's only starting, if that makes sense. Like they're just reaching a point where they're at that turning point in life where things are starting to change. And with that, I will say her bedroom was probably my favorite part of this. I think between the kitchen and the bedroom, it's a draw, because Florence is like very scholarly and very organized, but also has so much going on, takes a part in the family business. And so how do I make a room that kind of is messy, lived in? She's not necessarily like very femme or masc in any, there's that push and shove, very nuanced. She has many different layers to her. And how do you express that in an adult's childhood bedroom? That was kind of fun to look at, because it wasn't like making a messy teenager's room, bro's room, or, you know, it's not planning on moving out anytime soon. She takes part in the family business. She's in school. She's a busy woman. So doing that, throwing in the small nods of like growing up here, maybe I think she would be in her like first year of college, maybe in terms of first semester in The Sims. And then also holding that space for her mom, who happens to be young, and then her dad, who is looking to retire soon and probably just wants to hang out around the house. And then there's obviously a cat and cute little romantic areas. I really was happy with what I did in the backyard, because I think I'm good at landscaping, but typically once I furnish an entire house, like I normally do things in 2 separate parts, where like I'll do the entire exterior and like floor plan, and then I'll like terrain, like my life depends on it, outside. And then I'll go and start doing furnishing as like a second part of building. Normally end up really lacking in backyards, which I don't mind, especially when it comes to my save file. There are certainly homes where like there's a backyard set up and I didn't really furnish it that much, but if you choose to play with that family and you think a backyard's so important, I'll leave it to you. One day I might revisit it, but typically the home is finished once all the rooms are furnished. Like bathrooms are normally always last for me, in which I think that might hold true with this video too. I guess we'll find out. With that, because I've mentioned my save file a few times, I'm so close. I'm just kind of working out some small kinks within it. Like making sure people know who they're supposed to know, people have jobs, careers, resurrecting people who... The whole month that I haven't been editing this or filming this, I have been working on the save file. So, and on top of working on the save file with its release, also planning out the video series to explain it. Now that you have made it this far and listened to me rambling, or if you have made it this far, comment down below what day your laundry day is, because I actually have to go get my load before I get into the game to take you around the house a little bit. Okay, this was supposed to go up in March, maybe April. We're gonna halt that, ignore that. It is now August 1st, okay? Couldn't do that walkthrough. Just couldn't work. Save file's out now. I'm streaming on Twitch regularly. Go give a follow. It'll be linked down below. Thank you for watching. I just needed to edit this video. I had all the clips. So I just woke up. Bye-bye.